Welcome in to another edition of SE Checks In, presented by First Texoma National Bank. We've got Savage Storm baseball great Bernardo Estrada. Bernardo, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Seth. Thanks for having me. I've been watching these videos. I really enjoy them. It's awesome catching up with everyone, seeing how they're doing. But it's a nice Friday, good afternoon, and look forward to playing with my daughter and my wife later on.
That's big. Now, I said Savage Storm great. I know you were part of the old, so I will throw that in there. I was a Savage Storm, so it comes off the tongue there. So Bernardo played here from 2003 to 2005. He transferred in, appeared in 97 games, started in 96 games. And this next stat right here, a 426 career hitter. I don't think my batting average in 2 years added up to 426. So he definitely got it done. A two-time first team, all Lone Star Conference player, all Lone Star Conference academic team. Got it done in the classroom, got it done on the field. Like I said, transferred in, played for Coach Matheny. I think everybody played for Coach Matheny now when I talk to everybody. So we'll kind of start there. What was it like growing up in Texas, and then what kind of drew you to Southeastern?
No, so, growing up in Texas, I'm from a super small little town, Perryton. Nobody knows where we're at. Everybody says Perry. I'm like, no, I said Perryton. And then they'll say Perrington. So little small town north of Amarillo. We were a little 3A school, but, we could play some baseball out there. We could play football. We could do it all. It's just the marketing out there. And, it's a little bit different now where kids have their social media able to market to coaches. We didn't have that growing up. It was just us earning what we could get, deeper into the playoffs to get a little bit more exposure. But growing up in Perryton, that's where the basis of my baseball career came in. I started off in Little League, worked my way up, really didn't know much on the education of the game. My dad is a hard worker. My mom was too. They weren't into athletics. So a lot of self-taught stuff early on. And then, I owe it to a lot of the coaches in our Little League groups. And I think that makes a successful program and a successful, child, baseball player, softball, whatever the sport may be, is the youth sports. We had a really good youth sports baseball program. And that's where I kind of grew into it, went to Enid and then to Southeastern. And, what drew me to Southeastern, it's probably going to be Roland Fanning. That dude, everybody knows him. Yeah. He can talk. Coach Matheny had him recruiting all of us, early on at Enid. So, that was the biggest driver. Is I had never gone to a place where, I had my friends, I came from Texas into Oklahoma. I had no clue who anybody on my team was. Absolutely no clue. So I had to earn my keep on that team. You know as well as I do in JUCO, you may have 75 guys that show up and everybody's the best of their high school. So you definitely had to earn it. I had to earn my keep, and I had a good time.
Yeah, you mentioned Roland. He's one of those individuals, man. He stays engaged with us just like you do. He's Mr. Southeastern, and so it's
absolutely always will be.
Yes, sir. So you transfer in and talk about playing at Southeastern and in playing for a legend like Coach Matheny.
Yeah, so playing at Southeastern, obviously everybody knows it's a Division II school. I had some other offers. I thought I was going to go to Oklahoma State. There was Louisiana Lafayette that had come to watch us a lot in the fall. So this was the first time I had ever had any of this exposure. I didn't get recruited by anybody in high school, not a lick of anyone. So, again, I played for the Woodward Travelers in between my senior year in high school and then my freshman year in JUCO. And that's where I kind of got that exposure. But going into Southeastern, playing for Matheny, it was different. We were used to a little bit more of organized practices. Coach Matheny kind of let us. We did do some of that stuff, but there was a lot of personal responsibility on yourself. And I think that's what helped me in high school, because we did a lot of those things, soft toss and hitting in the cages and running and weightlifting, all that stuff. We did it on our own. So I think that was a little bit different. Not to say we didn't have the facilities in Enid. We didn't. We had one of the greatest fields in Oklahoma and really across the country playing in Enid. But, Southeastern was just a little personal responsibility. You really had to do the work on your own. And again, playing for Coach Matheny, a guy that's won a World Series. He's been there. He knows how to win. He's a great manager. He knew how to get a lot out of us. So I just liked his old school mentality. I'm a traditionalist. I wore my pant legs up. I like to show my socks and my stirrups. So I like the old school mentality that he brought.
That's one thing. If you look at you hit the nail on the head when Coach Matheny brings players in and he brings the junior college kids in. It was the same way when I was here, and it's more about just show up and do your job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Go to
absolutely.
work. He brought you in because he knows that you can play. Let's go play. And so he really just kind of let. And one thing I liked about him is he allowed you to be loose. That was the big thing. Is we were loose.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it was the same way. You guys had Roland, so you guys were real loose.
Oh, yeah. If the bats were cold, you got Roland over there shaking them up, yelling at them, trying to wake those bats up. That happened a lot too.
So, and I love playing for Coach Matheny. And I was going to come into this. What you got any good Matheny stories off the top of your head?
Man, we've got a bunch of them. And I would say this is one of my favorite ones. And I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to embarrass anybody. I don't think it would, but there was a time, and every team has it. You got a bad situation that happens. He's in the locker room. He's got the table in front of him. He's got all the dirty jerseys fixing to get, cleaned up, and he slams his fist down, and there's a powder. There's a baby bond powder there, talc, and it just explodes on one of the guys. I mean, all over his face. This is a story that I heard of the years prior to me, and I mean, there's just so many of them. Coach Matheny, he loved to crack jokes too, and when he was in the good mood and we were winning, that's what happened. But like players and coaches, if you're in a bad situation, there's some scary moments that can happen, and we can take it. Constructive criticism always happens, but that talc powder all over the guy's face, I'll never forget that. I laugh at that story all the time.
Yeah. I've got one for you real quick, and I don't tell a lot of people this one, but it's kind of on that. So we go play at Abilene. I'm 0 for the weekend, man. And this back when we played 4 games in the Lone Star. I'm like 0 for 25. I shouldn't even got off the bus. So, and we win and all that, and we get off the bus and we're talking about practice tomorrow and this and that. And Matheny in front of the team goes, "Hey, Dutt, meet me at Campus Police tomorrow." And I'm like, what did I okay? Like, am I in trouble? I mean, I'm a junior. Am I in trouble? He goes, "Because you're stealing scholarship money from me."
Yeah, I could see that. There was another time at Southern Arc where we had a pitcher that had pitched bad that day. He forgot that he had sent him running. Matheny sent him running, behind the outfield wall. Completely forgot about him. I mean, it must have been 5, 6 innings. Our poor pitcher still running out there, foul poles, and just stuff like that. I mean, a little extra running is not going to hurt anyone, but just little things like that you remember. Those are fun memories that you always take with you.
Yes. No, and my dad played for Coach Matheny, so it's real fun hearing his stories about back in the 80s. Every team has those 1 or 2 times that they will never forget and bring it up, and it's awesome. So
absolutely.
Obviously, you come here and you have an absolute stellar career, and just to reiterate how important hitting 426 was, the career batting average record at Southeastern is 439. So, I'm talking to an elite hitter in Southeastern history that could hit 428 in one year and 425 in the other year. It's man, that like I said, my batting average in 2 years didn't add up to be that. So, definitely you had an awesome career.
No, I appreciate that.
So you get done playing, you graduate, you get your degree in safety, and talk about that, and talk about being a safety major at Southeastern.
Yeah, so at first I was going through, I still have a little bit left on my master's. You never know, I may go back and finish it out. But I did change kind of career paths. I was headed down, sports administration. Had some people in my ear saying you'd be really good in safety. There's a good program here where you're at already. So I made the dive, and wow, what a great department. Dr. Jones, he spearheaded that place. With Dr. Bradshaw, Dr. Poovey, there's a lot of folks over there that are doing good things, and they want to help you get to the next level, just like our coaches they try to help us get to the next level. Same thing in our education, with our careers. Dr. Jones still connects with all of us. And I have to give him a little crap. He told me that he would never have social media. I remember back being a senior, he would never have it. And he's one of the most influential guys out there at Southeastern, or wherever it is, Instagram, Facebook, he's out there. So I told you, Dr. Jones, I told you you'd get on there.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm definitely going to let him know.
Oh yeah, he said he would never get on it, but that's a funny story about him. But No, they just, everyone willing to help you, take you to the next level. I still get emails from the Southeastern department, maybe just exhibiting some jobs that are out there. I've even posted some jobs with some of the employers that I've worked with throughout the years. But a great program. I know it's always at capacity. It's a big field. I know within Hub International, the company that I work for now, I'm trying to reintegrate myself into the safety department again. We have a Hub Women's Network that we're really trying to push and getting women into the workplace. So all that ties together, man. And I tell all old athletes or new kids now, what are some of the things that you can take into being an athlete? And I'm just like, get to know your professors, show up. A couple missed classes every now and obviously it can happen whether you're sick or maybe did a little bit too much, the night before, but I won't go there. But, just show up, work hard, and everything will take care of itself.
Baseball players staying up too late? No way.
No, that never happens, right?
Ever. So yeah, I mentioned safety because, I think when I played here, and it's definitely the same when you were, out of 25 guys, 22 of them were safety majors. It was such a popular field of study. And you look at the numbers and how it is, and, there's so many jobs available, and we've got one of the best safety schools in the country. And Dr. Jones, he's a huge fan of Southeastern athletics too. He's always at the games. He's everywhere. So, he's a very big supporter of us and our student athletes, which is great. So you get done and you graduate. Talk about when you graduated and just kind of your route, where you went to where you are now.
Yeah, so, graduating, I thought I was going to play baseball in my life. I thought I literally had a good opportunity to do that. I put up the numbers. Sometimes the little guy doesn't get the chance, and that's fine. I think the hardest part was just figuring out when I was going to hang it up. Yeah. Because I had done one thing all of my life and taken up so much of my time. I didn't know what to do, and that's why I push get your education so much, because you have to have something to fall back on. And I did that. I was kind of in limbo for a while. I did get a job with a work comp carrier that had to do stuff with safety. That was my first position. And, pushing myself away from baseball was tough, but, I have gone through it. There's fantasy baseball that I can do. There's fantasy football that I can do. I can still integrate myself within athletics in other ways, but, I finished my degree, got that job with that comp carrier, worked a couple years there, and then a buddy of mine from home, from Perryton, was a manager down in South Texas, and he was needing some safety supervisors, with Chesapeake Energy, some of the contract jobs that they had. So, I took a chance, went down there. It was paying really good money. I did have my girlfriend, which is now my wife at the time, but, we had a long distance relationship for the longest time, and we made that work. But that was probably the hardest time, is just getting down that career path, figuring out what you're going to do. And for a lifer in baseball, that's hard to stomach.
So you mentioned your now wife. You met her at Southeastern, correct?
Yeah, through, so our first baseman, Dallas Vanderford, he married her sister, and they connected us, and that's how we got to meet each other. And yeah, she's a nurse. She's one of the most hardworking people I know. She's always getting it. She's a big component of our family and how we make a living here, so I appreciate her so much on every aspect.
So now you're living just outside of Tulsa, in Coweta. In March, our lives in the sports area just completely shut down. A lot of parts of the United States shut down. How did that affect your family, with you specifically and your wife being a nurse?
Yeah, so, my wife still has to show up to work. She had the entire time. There was a period of time where she did come in contact with somebody that had COVID-19. She did not. She still got swabbed. They gave her 10 days to quarantine at home. But as far as me, I know most of my colleagues here in the Tulsa office haven't been back since March.
Yeah,
I haven't been back since June. It did affect our office. I'm part of our safety committee, so I had to help roll and reopen our office. So, we did some assessments. We reopened in early June, and I haven't been back to the office since. But, honestly, as some of the other folks have said, it's been a blessing in disguise. Of course, I feel for the families that have lost loved ones during this, and, one person is too many. But I've been grateful and lucky enough to be able to spend some more time here at home with my daughter, and my mom lives with us too. We play some teamwork here, and hey mom, I'm going to be on a call. Can you take her outside and play for a little bit? And thankfully we've had beautiful weather throughout all of this. But it's going to be a little bit different in the cold. So hopefully we can get back to the office, because right now they still haven't released us to go back.
Well, hopefully you get to do that soon. But I bet it is nice to be at home and be around the family a lot. I'm sure that
Sure it is.
When I talk to a lot of people, that's the number one thing they say is, hey, I get to be home, and I work, and that's important. But I also get to focus on my family, and they definitely get to experience that, and especially for the ones that just work all the time, it definitely has opened their eyes on some things, and so that's good.
Absolutely.
So, one positive thing, though, I will say, during all this, when we had to shut down, everything had to shut down, our construction crews kept working on that new weight room. And so that is one thing that has been an awesome thing, just to be able to see that weight room done. And then, to see it come together over the summer with the graphics and all that. And I know you got involved with this and donated and really stepped up with your alumni to help us get to finish off and put the icing on the cake. What are your thoughts about that weight room when you see it?
I'm jealous, man. Honestly, when we were there, I don't know what they have next door now in the little building that is there. It had some basketball courts. That's where we had to, line up the cages. I mean, you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
We just, in a Division II, sometimes you have to make do with what you have. But man, the way the baseball field has come together with batting cages, you got a rooftop over it. You can hit during the rain. You can hit at night if you wanted to. But the weight room, oh my gosh, to be able to really, work on your body. I wish we could have had something like that, because there's a lot of space. The old weight room was super limited. This is going to open up everything to be able to really train your entire body. And, we may miss that swimming pool, but but I'd rather have that weight room for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's the thing. I tell some people, I was like, hey, did you ever see the swimming pool? And some people have no idea where it was. And us as baseball players, we know exactly where the swimming pool is because we swim.
Yeah, absolutely. We did. And, that's something that we had picked up at Enid when I was at Enid, and we would swim in the fall for conditioning, a lot of arm problems, a lot of legs, whatever, soft tissue injuries. And I tell you, swimming, treading water was the best thing that ever happened to us during those situations. But man, to have a weight room like we have now and all the graphics, it's all beautiful. It comes together real nice.
It's wonderful. And, we've got some before and after pictures of the swimming pool, and what an awesome way to utilize that space and bring that building, that portion of that building back to life. Like I was down there earlier, and it's loud. There's people working out, music going. It's an awesome thing for student athletes and all that. And like I said, I can't thank you and everybody else that got involved with that enough, because, without that, we wouldn't have been able to put the icing on the cake. And we had 317 people donate to that project, and it has been much needed, and we are so excited to have it. And, and a lot of things have changed. If you look over the last 5 years, baseball got new fence, new entryways, dugout renovations, all that. There's bathrooms in the dugouts now. We never had that, you know what I'm saying? So
wow.
Locker room got renovated. And so there's some things that are going on and on the field. One thing we did do is we brought the fences in. And I know as a hitter, I was like, man, I wish we could have done that when I was here, because
I know, right?
Center field was Death Valley. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
Oh man, it's you get a ball out there, you think you get a hold of one, and you've got your center fielder catching it before the warning track. You're like, man, that's all I got.
I know. It kind of felt like the Polo Grounds, but me being a center fielder, I got to roam in some areas out there, and back then football practiced on our field, so those were tough times to stomach because football guys leaving tape and stuff out in my outfield, and I'm having to pick up, put it in my pocket, but I don't think you have torn up turf out anymore and missing, ground balls out there because of the chunks missing.
No, it's definitely in awesome shape. And, our coaches have done a really good job, and it looks great. They're getting to practice. I love going up there and watching them practice with all our sports, really. And so, but over the last 5 years, we've been able to do a lot of stuff at baseball, softball. Basketball has the arena. Volleyball just got their venue. We got cross-country trail done. So, we're making some strides in the facility area that are much needed. And I'm excited to see where we're going to be in the next couple of years. So,
No, and not enough kudos go to you guys. Your face is always on those videos. I love to see the updates. I know a lot of us do, and I challenge alumni to donate, even if it's 10, $20. The amount of people that we can get to just donating that much is going to help our future athletes. And put yourself back into their position. When we didn't have much, now they can train and be the best that they can be. Moving forward. So I challenge everyone to do that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because that's one thing we're going to start doing in the next couple of weeks. We're going to start reaching back out to people. And the biggest thing I'm going to sell is, hey, let's do $10 a month for a calendar year to the sport of your choice. And you get enough people doing that, that is our goal. And what we want to do is just to get as many people involved and then grow off that. So we're going to be really excited to launch that and get it done. And, these student athletes, they deserve the best, just like you did when you were here, when I was here. All our student athletes deserve the best, and our alumni support is great, but we want to continue to push it, and get people involved and back at games. So, well, man, I appreciate you taking time doing this with me and saying those kind words. I got one more question for you. When I say Southeastern Oklahoma State University, what does that mean to you?
Oh, to me, man, it's familia, family all the way, camaraderie. Everybody that I came in contact with down there, I can honestly say, even every sport, we all hung out together. I mean, we were at football games back when they let us have sofas in the end zone. I mean, screaming at the top of our lungs. Football was the same thing at our softball. We were there, contributing to them and their success. So a lot of those sports came together when I was there, I know, and I just think it's family. We all hung out outside of the field, outside of the court. Familia is the biggest word for me.
I love it. I love hearing that. And I love hearing about everybody's experiences and being able to go to the games and do stuff like that and support and still be able to support. It's great. And so one more question. What was Roland like at games?
Roland? Oh, yeah. I could say Mrs. Hudson was in his ear a lot. And Roland, man, he had all of it. I mean, we met even guys that weren't in athletics, like Bobby Weil. We met him. He was in our duplex right next to us, and he even came. And Mrs. Hudson had to get on to him because we're on the court. Yeah, I mean, we had some good basketball back then. With Eric Babers and Stamp and all those guys, Steve. And I mean, we had a lot of really fun guys, a lot of fun sports to watch. So Roland, man, just a ball of energy. I don't know where he gets it from. The guy's never down in the dumps. He's one of my best friends, and he's just somebody that's good to have around because he's always going to bring you up.
The only reason I bring that up is we had him on, and he always talked about going to the games and being in the middle of it all the time. He even told the story about when a fan from I won't say the name of the school, but they're up in Ada, dumped a Coke on him.
Oh, yeah. Dumped the Coke on him and completely doused him, and he was probably wearing his little jorts. He would wear the Rodman jersey. He would have those jorts, and he'd have this big megaphone, a big yellow one that he painted. And it was, I mean, he was right there. He was the guy that you saw, that he was the main heckler. So we had a good time, man. We had a great time at Southeastern. It was such a great time, and I will never.
Well, like I said again, man, I appreciate you taking time out of your day, especially now that I know that you've got family at the house and all that. I appreciate you taking time sitting down with us. Obviously you had a great career here, and anything else you want to bring up, man, the floor is yours.
No, that's it. I appreciate you guys giving me the time. Again, I love watching these, so keep pumping them out. We always love to connect and reconnect with old friends. Again, good luck to Southeastern, and good luck to getting that money raised for everything. And I'll be sure to do my part on this end and help push all the marketing for sure.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Whenever you head this way, let me know. Let's go grab lunch. Come check out the weight room. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, for sure. Once we get, I do make some trips to Dallas for work every now and then. So, once I am released to start traveling, I'd love to stop by, like you said, have some lunch and get a tour of the new digs there.
Good love for it. Well, Southeastern fans, that's Bernardo Estrada, two-time All-Lone Star Conference baseball player, hit .426 in his career, absolute stud on the baseball field. Huge supporter of Southeastern. We love him. We appreciate his support. So there it is. Take care, man.
Thanks. Bye.